Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dichronicos here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 favorite Warlock Exotics in Destiny 2. And of course, as always, this is a completely subjective list based on my own opinion, and if you guys have a differing opinion about certain exotics, let me know in the comments down below. There's perhaps something that I miss, perhaps some exotics that's used in a certain way that I don't know about. Please let me know in the comments down below, but please let me know how they compare to other exotics on this list, because I'm going to give specific reasons of what kind of activities that I would use this on, and that is actually very important. And of course, as always, this video is accompanied by the prerequisite spreadsheets. If you did not know, I make spreadsheets for these kind of videos where I list all the different things I know about these exotics, including giving them scores, rankings, and all that whatnot in a beautiful, dark themed, color-coded, linked up, pictured up spreadsheet, and is a completely public and open spreadsheet for you guys to use. If you want to get your hands on the spreadsheet, all you have to do is head over to my Discord server, which can be found in the description down below, and on the Discord server there's going to be a channel called #D2Spreadsheets, and in that channel you'll find a list to all the spreadsheets that I do and have done in the past. And if you do end up liking and using my spreadsheets and my videos, please consider checking out my Patreon, which can be found in the description down below, because without your support, and I'm not actually at my goal yet, but without your support I cannot continue to do the spreadsheets at the quality and quantity that you know and expect. I'll have to get a part-time job, and the first thing to go out is definitely going to be the spreadsheet, because 20 hours a week is not warranted. But with your support, I'll be able to continue doing that. So check out the Patreon. There's an amazing video over there that has a really nice story, so please check that out. Moving on, we're going to talk about my spreadsheet and top 10 for this video. Now obviously you can see on screen the spreadsheet right now. I'm not going to hold you in suspense. You can see the rankings along the left side of all of the exotics that I have considered for this video and that I do like, on top of the fact that I have updated the Warlock spreadsheet to have all of the different score rankings so you can get a better idea of each exotic in each of the activities. I started this with the last one, the Titan exotics, and I think it's a very good idea, and I hope you guys do appreciate that. Now what's more important than knowing what my favorite 10 exotics are going to be the reasons why. Going to be understanding the meta of Destiny 2 and how these exotics fit into different builds. And that's what I'm going to be doing over the main part of this video, is talking about the meta so you can have a better understanding of the puzzle that is Destiny 2 and its meta. So as always, what we're going to do is go through the unranked items first, giving you a brief understanding of why I didn't rank them, and then working our way backwards through the top 10. And obviously this spreadsheet has a lot more things I won't be talking about in this video. For example, the best mods for certain exotics and the best mods for other armor parts with those exotics, and all of the extra notes and legends and stuff. It's all here. I'm not going to be going over every little bit of information. Starting up with the Apotheosis Veil. Personally, I don't really care about getting my health and all my ability regeneration on my super activation, because firstly, that doesn't happen that often, and nearby allies getting class abilities is not really that mission critical either. I will say though that Apotheosis is a very cool sounding word and has to do with being divine. Next up for the I knew I was going to butcher that. The Astrocyte Verse. If you like to blink shotgun rush enemies, this is going to be the exotic for you, because you blink further, blink more frequently, you get your weapon up faster, and you have your radar while you're blinking, which is everything that you possibly wanted in Destiny 1 for blink shotgunning. Definitely an exotic that was almost in my top 10 for sure. I Have Another World. You get regeneration speed for all of your abilities, and you highlight priority targets, which I believe targets that you've damaged. The regeneration is like 2%, so it's not worth it at all, and being able to see enemies through walls is powerful in PvP, but is often finicky of what counts as a priority target. The Stag. You get more rift energy when you're critically wounded, and you drop a rift on your corpse when you die. Definitely something that may be useful in revival game modes like Trials of Osiris or Trials of the Nine, but outside of that, I just can't imagine it really being that mission critical. Verity's Brow. You get more grenade recharge for you and your teammates from energy weapon kills, which is easy to activate, can be done in any subclass, is not that much ability regeneration, but they're just oftentimes as so many other exotics that I'd rather use than this. If I didn't have all the best exotics, I would use this. The Aeon Soul, the second worst exotic in the game, second only to the Eternal Warrior. And the reason why is because the regeneration is not that good, and because nobody uses it, nobody uses it. The Claws of Ahamkara. For the most part, if a thing says you get an additional charge and that's all it does for melee, grenade, rift, or whatever, I don't really respect it that often, because often, and more often than not, the reason why I'd want an additional charge is because of a certain exotic's ability, like doing more melee damage, then I'd want a more charge. And for the most part, I just don't have that many builds that I care about an extra charge. I'd rather have faster regeneration. And this is definitely an argument that people have had through the ages about Armamentarium versus Hallowfire. I go Hallowfire every day, all day. The Getaway Artist, one of the exotics that is definitely almost in my top 10, a very fun exotic, a very effective exotic. Basically, you use your grenade to summon an Arc Soul auto turret on your shoulder, which is a better version of Arc Soul. A super Arc Soul in PvP basically adds to your DPS and actually scares the hell out of people, because if you see a dude with an Arc Soul over his shoulder, you know he's doing more damage and that you can't stop the auto targo, so usually people run away. In PvE, it counts as grenade kills, so if you need to trigger things like taken armaments or fallen armaments to get lots and lots of heavy ammo, or you just want to get grenade kills for a bounty, this actually counts for that, and that's powerful. And then finally, there is actually an exploit where if you summon the Rift that gives you an Arc Soul with the Attunement of Elements, I believe, or Attunement of Ions, that actually refreshes the Super Arc Soul on your shoulder. So that refreshes the full 20 seconds of Super Arc Soul from that Rift. The Karnstein Armlets. Melee kills instantly restore basically all of your health and continue to recharge your health at Rift regeneration speed for 8 seconds. And I'm not kidding. 8 seconds of full regeneration is very powerful. In my opinion, this is definitely one of the underrated exotics in the game. That being said, melee-based exotics, unless it's a super melee-based exotic, is not something that I would use very often, but definitely something very powerful. The Sun Bracers. Getting a solar melee kill gives you infinite solar grenades, and solar grenades last longer. And I'm not kidding, use this with Attunement of Sky, fly through the air, get a melee kill, and then just start dumping grenades everywhere, and you get a full melee back from the Attunement of Sky. Very powerful and very fun build to use. Winter's Guile, an exotic that you can use to literally 7-punch, and I'm not kidding, 7-punch Zolmak, the dungeon boss. Currently, they have this exotic disabled because, you know, getting that much melee damage combined with 2 1-punch shotguns and tractor cannon is not okay. Chromatic Fire basically gives you Dragonfly to your kinetic weapons. Only one kinetic weapon has a Dragonfly-like perk, and that's Ace of Spades with Firefly, and allows you to get double explosions with Ace of Spades, which is cool and a fun gimmick. But honestly, I'd rather just use a Dragonfly energy weapon because that's cheaper than using a whole entire exotic armor. Starfire Protocol. You get an extra fusion grenade charge. Your fusion grenades kills give you Rift energy, and empowered weapon damage gives you fusion grenades. So, empowering Rift, fusion grenade kills, back and forth between each other, unlimited fusion grenade energy. Oh, and also unlimited empowering Rifts as well, so lots of extra damage. Fun build, but not too many applications for fusion grenade kill. Storm Dancer's Brace, an exotic that I have not had that much experience with, but from my experience, giving you more damage to Storm Trance is still not a lot of damage, so it's really not that great, and I do believe this does not count Chaos Reach, the big laser from Attunement of Control, because that's called a Chaos Reach, not Storm Trance. The super names are different. Vesper of Radius. Basically, your rifts explode when you cast them, and you get more rift energy when you're nearby enemies. And if you like having tons of rifts, you can get your rifts like in a few seconds with a couple enemies near you, but there's not a lot of applications for that these days. Geomag. When Chaos Reach super energy is almost full, sprinting tops it off, and damaging enemies with Chaos Reach extends its duration, basically allowing you to get double the duration of your Chaos Reach super, allowing you to do double the damage to a boss if that boss can take it, which is a very powerful damage dump. Definitely something that I've used many times and really do like. And lastly, Promethean Spur. Using Daybreak and getting kills, spawns, empowering and healing rifts on those kills is not something that I really want. There's not any point in my life that I specifically want that to happen, so it's just not used. Now that we've finished the non-ranked items, let's work our way backwards through the top 10, talking about my favorite exotics for Warlock. Starting up here with the Sanguine Alchemy, an exotic that honestly Warlock mains want nobody to know about because it's a very powerful exotic. Its main perk, Heightened Senses, when standing in a rift, grants you and your nearby allies heightened senses, allowing you to retain your radar while aiming down sights, which is not the best part. And additionally, nearby powerful enemies are visually marked and can be tracked without line of sight. And in the Crucible, this allows you to basically have a wall hack with just your rift. So if you focus on getting as much rift recharge as you can, for whatever reasons, you can have One-Eyed Mask see people through walls without even needing to damage them. And that is powerful, and you can do it for you and your allies, which is super powerful in a defensive build. Honestly, I don't know why more people don't use it, but I think it's because people didn't even try it. And I know a lot of Warlock mains are like, shh, don't tell people this stuff, don't do it. This is what the video is for, my man. Coming up at number 9 this top 10 countdown, we have the Wings of Sacred Dawn, an exotic that I used to consider the #1 worst exotic in the entire game, even worse than Eternal Warrior because it was a negative. Making it so you're suspended in mid-air is not a benefit, it actually makes you more vulnerable, and I never saw the purpose of. But ever since they buffed it this season, it has become a lot better. Not only does it suspend you in mid-air for a short time, it also improves your mid-air accuracy, reduces flinch, and grants you a 15% damage resistance, and weapon hits extend its duration. That 15% damage resistance was enough to take it from the worst exotic in the entire game to number 9 in my Warlock Exotics list. And this is actually really fun when you're using it sniping. I'm pretty bad at sniping, but if you fly through the air, aim down sights, and you rip a headshot with that thing, then use your Icarus dodge with the Attunement of the Sky, you're having a good time, and it is a lot of fun to do that. And definitely Icarus dash is something that kind of carries this, because without it, you're still very vulnerable. But this is definitely a high skill ceiling exotic, so it's gonna take some time to get used to. Next up at number 8, we have Ophidian Aspect. Weapons ready and reload very quickly, and melee range is extended, which are all great things for the Crucible, being able to have farther melee range, on top of the fact they're buffing the Warlock melee range soon, so this may become even more powerful. Making it so you can ready your weapons faster is always really powerful for heavier weapons like Vigilance Wing, or heavy machine guns, or rockets, or even shotguns. And just in general is nice. And finally, reloading quickly, it's just nice to have. At number 7, we have Nezarec Sin, an exotic that I didn't really respect until you guys ripped me open in the last Warlock video, and I gotta say, you're right. Using this with Recluse, the best primary for PvE, it definitely gives you a lot more energy regeneration. Now, it's not a significant amount per kill, but the fact you get so many Recluse kills allows us to get you a lot of grenades, a lot of melee energy, using that with handheld supernovas or just regular grenades and melees, giving you even more kills with Hammerhead, giving you more void kills. You have a lot of opportunities to get a lot of void kills. And then now we have Osmosis, allowing you to change your kinetic weapon to void damage so you can have a full void loadout, which is something powerful and nice to have. Coming up at number 6, perhaps a controversial pick here, Skull of Dhyrmkara. Definitely an exotic that I really like. It's something that I've used for a very long time. Basically provides damage resistance during Nova Bomb, not important. Nova Bomb kills give you super energy. It used to be that you could get 5 kills with your Nova Bomb and have a full Nova Bomb. Now, I would say 5 kills may give you half your super, but that's still a very powerful thing. A lot of supers got nerfed with the previous season's super energy exotic nerf, but getting super energy back is always useful and is always powerful and is always nice to have in endgame content, and that is why it is at an 8.5 for PvE, because in endgame content, having that huge damage dump that you can get with Nova Bomb is more important than that of Nezarec Sin. Getting more grenades and melee is nice, but it's not as nice as getting more supers. And of course, the Cataclysm and the Devour versions of the Nova Bomb are both fantastic damage dealers and something that you guys should use more often. Moving into the top 5, at number 5, we have Phoenix Protocol, an exotic that I used to consider #1 in the entire game because Well of Radiance was just unstoppable, the best damage buff that you could get, just incredible, and getting more of those was just game-breaking. However, since they nerfed a lot of the exotics that give you super generation, and the fact that Ward of Dawn is now your weapon damage king, Well of Radiance has become less and less of a priority, and more people are using Lunafaction over Phoenix Protocol because they need Lunafaction and they don't need to have more super. But overall, still very useful and always nice to get more super from your super. Again, very powerful to have in endgame to have more super, especially a super that makes you nearly invincible. Coming up at number 4, we have the Transversive Steps, probably a controversial pick. If you didn't know, it's basically the sprint boots for your Warlock, and on top of that, it automatically reloads your equipped weapon, allowing you to remove the reload time for a lot of different slow reloading weapons like the Duke, the Python, basically anything with extended mags or things that don't have reload perks or heavy machine guns. All of these sprint for 1 second while they're equipped, and they auto reload, and that is really, really powerful and really nice in aggressive builds. If you like to be in their face in both PvE and PvP, you can get in there, get some shots, run out, fully reload your weapons, do it very, very quickly. And of course, in general, sprint boots are really nice to get through strikes faster, really good at chasing down enemies in PvP, really good at escaping encounters and saving your life in both PvE and PvP, something that is universally useful and universally awesome. Coming up at number 3 in this top 10, probably a bit controversial here, but Lunafaction boots, and I'll tell you why. If you don't know, the main perk, Alchemical Etchings, your rifts gain the additional ability to increase weapons reload speed to their maximum reload speed, and in powering doubles the effective ranges of all your weapons. And that's actually something that has been tested. It doubles your range, making a lot of sidearms and shotguns and hand cannons a lot more powerful in those rifts. But the main purpose of Lunafaction boots is to increase the reload speed of all people's weapons in DPS phases to the maximum, allowing you to have the maximum amount of DPS. So in essence, the use case for Lunafactions has not changed whatsoever. Yes, technically you can use a rally barricade, but rally barricades have a smaller area that you can do it in and often finicky and can get your teammates killed. With Lunafaction boots, you allow your Well of Radiance, the entire Well of Radiance, to have double range for all of your teammates, extra damage from Well of Radiance, and the fastest possible reload. So, even though they don't instant load anymore, their use case is exactly the same. And honestly, if you haven't tried out the double range in your Rift, you've got to try it out. It freaks people out. Coming up at number 2 in this top 10 countdown, we have the Controverse Hold, an exotic that I completely overlooked in the last top 10 for Warlock stuff, and you guys absolutely grilled me, informed me in the comments of its ability and how awesome it is. Now, I will say this exotic is very powerful, so much so that Bungie is going to be nerfing it in the next season. On top of that, also nerfing the handheld Supernova, which this exotic is best paired with. The main perk, Chaotic Exchanger, resists incoming damage while charging your Void Grenade with Chaos Accelerant, Feed the Void, and handheld Supernova, basically any of the charge grenade special perks, and charged Void Grenades return a random amount of grenade energy on hit. So if you're using, for example, Attunement of Fission with Nova Warp and all that, whatnot, charge up your grenade handheld Supernova as you're going around a corner against an enemy. They shoot you with a, I was about to say Matador, Mindbender's Ambition straight to the chest. You survive that because you resist incoming damage, and then you shotgun blast them with handheld Supernova, which is something that I have raged a lot against in the Crucible. So you can survive a lot of damage, you can get a shotgun blast, instant kill in close range, and you get a little bit of grenade energy back, allowing you to get that grenade thing back again to use it very soon. Very powerful and definitely something that needs to be taken a look at. And finally, coming up at number 1, the top exotic for Warlocks in my opinion is going to be Crown of Tempest. Its main perk, Conduction Tines, arc ability kills increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities and extend the duration of Storm Trance. So use your arc abilities to give you more arc ability regeneration. If you use your melee attack and your grenade, you're getting your melee and grenade back, and then you pop your super for a longer duration Storm Trance. Now personally, I love using this in PvP. Being able to use this to have longer supers to get lots of grenades and melee attacks, which are very important for Warlocks, that is, melee attacks, is a very powerful thing to have, and it's very easy to do. It doesn't take that much effort to just get an ability energy kill. And on top of that, Storm Trance also counts as ability energy, so as soon as you exit your super, you're getting your grenade and melee back very quickly because you just got a whole bunch of arc ability kills. Now, I know what a lot of people may be thinking, Crown of Tempest, it may be an odd choice to put at number 1, and I would say for the most part, the Warlocks don't really have that many game-breaking exotics right now. Now, the Titans, they have One-Eyed Mask and Hallowfire Heart, which I consider to be some kind of broken exotics. The Hunters have Celestial Nighthawk, Radiant Flux, Orpheus Riggs, Stompies. There's definitely a lot more exotics in the other classes that I would say are better than Crown of Tempest, and so Crown of Tempest seems odd, but it is overall a great exotic, definitely worthy of an 8.5 and a 9 out of 10. As you notice, there are very few 9s on this list and no 10 out of 10s because I actually rate things as they compare to other exotics in the game, and the only 10 out of 10 right now is gonna be the one-eyed mask. And that's gonna be pretty much it. That is gonna be the end of this video. Let me know in the comments down below if there's something I missed or if you had any questions or concerns, and of course your recommendations. If there's something or an exotic that I missed or overlooked, let me know in the comments down below, because just like you, I am a Destiny nerd and I want to know about these different things so that I can use them. But that's it. That is the end of the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name's been Chronic, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Any burial sites?
Nothing but a fallen forest.